Hi, this is Liza. I'm going to do a quick overview of how to set up Google Classroom. So first, make sure you're in classroom.google.com and make sure you're signed into your school account. If it's saying that you have no classes, it's possible that you're still signed into your personal account. So switch over to your school account and then you should be able to see classes if you had any or add classes. So then once you are in Google Classroom, you're going to click this little button right here. This is how you create a class. Give the class a name. You can put the section, the hour, the subject, the room. You can fill in as little or as much of that as you want. I would definitely do the class name, but the rest of it is up to you. Then hit create. And then here's your new class. So from this point, if you want to change the theme, you click that little button that I just clicked, and you can find whatever picture you want. You can go back and upload a picture if you want things to be a little more personalized, or you can just leave whichever one they picked for you. This is what you would use to upload a photo. So with the select theme that they have, use this button right here. If you want to upload your own picture, you would do that. In this, probably the most important thing is this classwork tab. Before we go there, if you just look here for just a second, here's your class code. So if you click this little box, it'll make it bigger. If you want to make it bigger still, if you're trying to get the kids into this, you can make it full screen. And this is what the kids will use to join your Google Classroom. And most of the kids know how to do this because they've used this before. If you want to generate a Google Meet link, you can do this so that you can give that to the students if you are doing Google Meet with your students. So the classwork tab is where you're going to do most of your work. As an example, I'm going to pull up one of mine here. So under my classwork tab, the first thing I do is create topics before I start posting anything. So you can see all my topics that I've listed over here. That way that keeps things nice and organized so students can find them. The way that I've organized mine is my first two topics. These are just general resources, so the syllabus, other things that the students might need to reference over the course of the semester. I've created a place for online resources and login pages since we're using a lot of online things this year. This is a place where all those login pages are if the students don't remember how to get to something. And then after that, I have my units. So each of these topics is what this unit is. And then for me, I'm posting modules underneath that. So like for me, a module would be like a class day. So within the module, this is everything we would do for that given day. Everything they need would be attached to it. And then they can turn it in once they're done with it. And that kind of helps me keep track of what's going on. And that helps for my course, that helps my kids stay on track. So here's our one that we just made. So if I click create, I can create topic, and then I could say this is unit 1. And then I hit add, and then here's unit 1. Now this is not going to show up in the students feed until you actually post something underneath it. So once you have that created, then let's say you want to create an assignment. A quiz assignment, the only difference is it's an assignment that has a quiz attached. You can make a regular assignment a quiz assignment just by attaching a quiz you've already made. This one, you actually make the quiz within the assignment. You could post a question for the students. If you have something you want the students to read or some kind of material you want the students to have access to, you could do that. If you've used Google Classroom before and you have posts from a previous year, you can reuse a post that you've used in the past. So let's just say we want to create an assignment here. I'm just going to call this day 1. Instructions, let's say I want to do the syllabus, that I want to do a get to know you activity, and then whatever else I might want to do. I could attach anything here that I wanted. So if I had a syllabus I wanted to attach and it was in my Google Drive, I would click here and that would take me to my Google Drive and then I could go and find it. If there's some kind of activity, maybe an online activity, I could post a link. Let's say there was a video I wanted them to watch. I could attach that as well. Okay, now this not everybody is going to use assignments this way, but like I said, I'm using these as an assignment is like everything we would do in a block or a single day. You could post an assignment as like a single video. So here's a video, I want you to watch this video. You could also attach things like Edpuzzles, which some people used last year, or Flipgrids, or some other technologies that you can then assign through Google Classroom. So as you're posting this assignment, what you would do over here then is this is who I'm going to assign it to. So this was that fake class I created just a minute ago, so I have that checked because that's who I want to assign it to. If you have multiple classes of the same, so like you can see my AP Chems here, so if this was an AP Chemistry assignment, I could push it out to both of them at the same time. I wouldn't have to do separate assignments for each different one. I can put either, if it's an ungraded thing, I can put it as ungraded. If it's graded, I can tell them how many points I want this to be out of, and then I can go in here and post a grade. Due date, if it's an assignment, I always like to do a due date. So let's say I want this to be done by Friday. And then topic, this is how you get it to be placed in the right category. So Unit 1, that was that topic I created, so I'm going to put Unit 1, and so it'll post it under that category on that main page. A rubric is a little more advanced feature if you have something that you want to attach a rubric to help with grading, so the kids know what they're being graded on. You can reuse a rubric if you used one before. You could actually create one, so this will walk you through how to create that. And that can be a topic for another day, but that's something that is available as well. So then after you have everything there, you've attached everything that you want to attach, you would click Assign, and then you can see that shows up right there. Okay, and again, you don't have to do this as a whole day's assignment. You could just, let's say I want to create an assignment, and I just want it to be video instructions, watch this video. And then I would go here, I would go to YouTube, and I would paste in the YouTube video that I wanted them to watch, and that would show up there. So again, when they open this up, everything they need is here. Again, you can adjust all these things over here, and then that's something that the students will turn in. If you create, now notice here how I didn't put a topic, so it just kind of stuck it up here. So if that happens, you can go up here, you can go to Edit, and then I can fix that real quick. Unit 1, Assign. Okay, now the only bad thing about that is if you forget to assign it to a unit when you first assign it and you've assigned it to multiple classes, you'll have to go into those classes individually, because once you post something, if you edit the assignment, like you edit the due date, you edit what's in it, you edit what unit or what topic it's under, it doesn't go through and do that for everything you post it to, so you'll have to go through and do that individually. People just shows you all the students that are in there. You won't have to add students manually. The students, you will give them that class code. Like I said, most kids know how to do that. And then grades, I wouldn't worry about this as well. If you're using our regular grade book, you really don't need the grade section here. It'll show the kids the grades. If you're putting grades into these assignments, they'll see them, but you really don't need to use this as a grade book, since we use a grade book in a separate program. And if we go back to that very first one that we talked about, was the stream. This is where you could just put announcements. So if there's something you want to push out to your students, you want to remind them about something. I don't use the stream to post assignments. I always use the classwork. If I'm going to post something I want them to do, I always use this classwork section. Again, the stream is more just like an announcement page, but you can do the same thing here, where you can post it to multiple classes. If you just want it to go to individual students, once you have students enrolled, you'll be able to see those too. You can add attachments to things if you need to in the announcement section. But again, I really think the easiest way for everybody to find everything they need in Google Classroom is to use this classwork page to post all your assignments.